Good morning. Welcome to Studio Nicole. This is Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're here. I am coming back into the studio after almost a week, not quite, of just sort of being tied up with holiday craziness. If you celebrate Christmas, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday spent with some family, and I hope you found some peace and some comfort and some joy. I know this can be a tough part of the year for a lot of people. I struggle with it sometimes myself, having lost my mom uh, near Christmas. It's 9 years this year. It doesn't get easier, really. Anyway, though, I hope that you have were able to find some peace and some comfort this Christmas and some joy. And I am getting back into the studio after you know, just being busy with all the craziness, and it's good to be back. I have some exciting news about my Oracle deck project. I don't know if it's news really, but I have some exciting updates that I am very excited about. And so I wanted to share with you sort of where I am in that process. So it looks like if you take a look at these sample cards, it looks like they're essentially finished. I have my image glued down. I have the sentiment or the intention on what I ended up using were label stickers. And I kind of experimented. I colored them dark. I tried outlining them on the page. That didn't work. So then I was just outlining them with black ink. You can't really see it on the black ones, but you can see it a little bit better on the lighter ones. Um, and that makes it stand out just a little bit more. I don't know if it would make sense to try to do like this with black ink. I tried it with brown and I just didn't really like the way it turned out. Um, I just didn't think that that gave quite the same effect. So I thought I might try it with black. I'm a little scattered this morning. I'm not being very coherent. Okay. Here is the update. I have done a handful of these cards. Let's see how many I've finished. Oh, but that's it. These are the only ones that I finished. All of the rest of these still need to be done. Um, what was happening was I was writing these out in my handwriting, and I got this far along, but in that space of time, I had a bunch of mistakes. I was really having a hard time like centering the words or like arranging it on the in the space so that it didn't look like weird. This one I accidentally wrote black on while I was outlining it. I don't, this one, like the pen started to go out and then I went back to it and then it was darker than the rest. I was really struggling to make these kind of work the way that I wanted to. You can see like some places they're like darker than others. Um, and I really tried to embrace the chaos of it all, like the imperfection. Like, this is me, this is my handwriting. I really wanted to put my handwriting into the project. I really wanted that to show up on here. It felt personal to me rather than like typing them out, but it really just wasn't working. It was driving me crazy. I kept trying to push through it and keep going, and every mistake that I made and everyone that I just didn't really like very much just just made me crazy. Um, so I started doing a little bit of research and I found now I have done this years ago, but I could not find the files today. Or not, or well, I did this the other day, but I couldn't find the files from the last time I did this. So I went looking for another program that would do this, and I found just yourfonts.com, I think, was the company or the program that I ended up going with, the website. Hmm. And it lets you print out this template page and then write in your own handwriting, and then it turns it into a font. So that's what I ended up doing. And the one that I've done years ago was free. I actually have done this twice before on different computers, and then I switched computers and like lost the files and had to redo it. The other two that I've done in the past were free. This one was not free. This one cost $9.95. Um, I saved the True Type font file. It's a TTF file. I saved it on my hard drive, my external hard drive this time, so that hopefully I won't lose it in the future and I'll be able to use it from now on. But I did create a font based on my own handwriting. This template is really easy to use. You print this out and you write the words in or the letters in, and there are these guides like along the side of each block to show you where. Let's see. No, it's not on here. There's a little guide on the website that tells you what the lines are. There's like the baseline, and then the line, for any descenders, and the line for any ascenders. And it helps you keep your font consistent on like a line so it doesn't like, bounce up and down on the page. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it was fun. It was really an easy project. It took me about 15 minutes to print this out, write the letters in, scan it back in, and process it through the website, and then download the finished font, and then install the font onto my computer. So those were the steps. It only took about 15 minutes. It was a pretty easy project. And now I have, ta-da, I was able to use my font to go through and come up with a sentiment for each one of these. And I could center it and I could edit it a little bit and kind of like change the wording if it was too big or what have you. But I have all 80 of them on one sticker sheet. And I'm able to print a second sheet if I need like a backup in case I mess up something. Uh, I do think that I want to like vintage this so that it's not like stark white. Let's see. The first few, these were in order, but since I've been talking, I've been kind of like mixing them up a little bit. So just theoretically, that's what it would look like without it being like darkened. It will stand out more that way. I will say that. What do we think? Do we like the white without edges, or do we like it to be a little bit darker but with edges? I don't know. Let me look at it again. I usually try to just go with my gut and say, what do I want to do here? I will. Let's see how it looks on one of the darker cards too, so I can make a really good decision here. And I'm going to glue these down. I'm not going to rely on the sticky part of the sticker, but I actually like the white better on the dark than I do on the lighter colored background. I think I actually might leave it white. I'm surprised because I didn't think that I was going to want to do that. But I don't know. How does it look on the ones with like the vintage colors already on them? It's a good thing that I'm redoing these because I just kind of tore the print off of that one. Yeah, I think it looks better even with that. I think it looks fine. Do you think? Mm, I'm struggling with this one. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time making this decision. I think I don't know. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna continue to audition things. I'm going to take this. I have one that I did. I actually did this as a holiday activity with my sisters and my nieces, and they had a smaller selection of cards and the images, and I printed out a couple of these sheets, and they could pick from them to make their own cards, their own intention cards. As like a Christmas gift, plus an activity that we did a little bit on Christmas while we were celebrating. So I have this sheet and I think I'm going to try to distress it just a little bit and see. Oh, that was not a good color. Did the colors get mixed up? Maybe that's what happened. I think the lid was on the wrong color because that should not have been that color. Let's try this one. Just darken that up a little bit. So now we'll see what it looks like with the vintage font. I mean the t- vintage color, but the written font. Do we like that? I think I like that version, actually. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do then. All right, so I am okay. Now I need to get organized. This one goes over here. These two go back on the page. And then I'm going to I just have one of these makeup brushes. I'm sure you've seen these. I think these each work really, really great with inks and oxides. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to just tap it down and kind of lightly um, color. I really don't want it to be super dark because I think one of the things I did with the other one is make it too dark. Um, but I do want it to have some. Uh, color to it. I don't want it to be like stark white. I think the trick is going to be finding like the right amount of color. So I'm really excited about this sort of development, is being able to use my own handwriting, but in a font, so I can kind of type it out ahead of time and look a little more carefully at the placement of the letters and the size. I was struggling a little bit with the size of the words since I was working with just a small like sticker area. I found myself sort of running out of space quite a bit. So I thought this was a great alternative. It's like a nice mid ground where I can still have my own handwriting, so it feels very personal to me. But I have a little more control because I'm working, ahead of time on the computer um, to place the intentions on the stickers. So a little more thought. What do we think? Do we think that's enough? It's a lot lighter than the other one that I did. I think maybe this was just too dark. It was too much color. So I'm going to stick with the lighter. This edge just looked like it didn't really get a whole lot of. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So what I did, now these first ones, as I said, I've kind of mixed these up. Because I was sort of showing you and using those as examples. But what I did when I was writing these is that as I would pull a card out, I would come up with the sentiment for it. I would write that out, and then I would put this like this in here. And then I would just do the next one, like, um, write the thing and then put it in here. Write the intention, put it in here. So they should be in order. So I don't have to like dig through this whole pile of intentions to figure out which one goes on which card. They should be in order, except for the ones that I had done already that I've been showing you this morning that I have all mixed up. So these, well, I'll have to hunt a little bit just out of these first few rows, but for the most part, they should be in order. I am going to use matte medium to glue these down, and I'm going to try to go over the whole card. One thing that I did notice after doing the pictures, and I don't know if you can really see on camera, I'm trying to find one that maybe you'll be able to see. One thing that happened was um where the matte medium is, I can kind of see that versus where it isn't. So when I put these down, I want to make sure that I cover the whole card just so that it looks uniform and it doesn't look like there's glue in on part of the card, but not on the whole card, if that makes sense. So I am going to use matte medium. I'm almost out of this jar. I've used a lot of it. So I will probably end up finishing it. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. But I did buy some more. What do I have over here? I bought, oh no, that's modeling paste. I just bought some matte gel from Liquitex. The golden matte medium that I have is really liquidy and thin, so I think the gel is going to be a better fit. So if I run out of that jar, I've got another jar handy, and I'm probably going to use a big brush. Oh, um, just so that I can move more quickly around the page. I do have a smaller one that's a little stiffer that might be a better fit. Although I probably need to go clean my brushes out because they're kind of mucky from some painting that I was doing. Um, so I'm going to put you guys on super fast speed again and go through and finish these cards up. And I will see you at the end when they're all finished. All right, I am back with clean brushes, and I'm going to turn on my audiobook so that I can listen for a while I work. And if anybody is interested, I am listening to, I started to say reading, but I guess that's not the right verb. I'm listening to The No Show by Beth O'Leary. So I'll see you through the magic of time lapse in just a few minutes. So I am back in real time, and this is the very last one. I have done 79 Oracle cards, and I thought that I would just come off of super speed and kind of talk through doing this very last one. I'm just laying down the labels, and then I'm putting a light coat of the matte gel around the edges and then over the picture itself. When I go over the label, it does smear just the littlest bit, and that's, it's fine. It's still readable, and it gives it just a little bit more like character, so it doesn't look quite so like new or fresh. It makes it look a little bit like vintage and older. Um, it does slide around a bit, so I'm trying to keep it centered. The only other thing, this is like kind of the official, kind of the official end. I guess is a little bit contradictory, isn't it? This is the end of the project, officially. However, nothing is ever simple, right? With me, the only thing that I'm wondering is whether I want to outline the picture on some of these so that it stands out more from the background. That's the only. I also thought about maybe I could do it in gold, but that seems like it would be just a lot. I wouldn't want to emboss it, but I would want something that really stands out and stays metallic. So I could maybe use one of these like markers, one of these gold markers. I don't know. I want to test it out before I decide for sure. I don't want to just start and then I'm going to have like one that's outlined and then the rest wouldn't be. But I just don't know. I don't know if I want to do that with all of them or not. Maybe I'll just leave them. If I leave them, then this is the end. Ta-da! Celebration. I finished. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see, like, they're everywhere, scattered all across my desk. It's a little bit ridiculous, but I'm very excited to have these finished. I wanted to get them done by the end of the year, and here they are. I would like to take a couple of other videos and go through each one of the cards and kind of talk through the image and the intention and how I sort of like was inspired to, develop this card and how I think I will use it. That is going to be like a massive, chatty, very long video. And then I thought I could also do like a short version where I'm not talking and I'm just showing the cards. And I wouldn't also mind maybe doing some shorts in the new year where I, kind of like pull one of these cards in the morning and talk through what that means to me and how I'm going to try to keep it in mind. I thought that might also be fun, to kind of talk a little bit about how I'll use these Oracle deck cards. So this project, which has been probably at least 2 months in the making, I could probably go back and find out. It's in my weekly journal when I started the process. Let's see if I can find it because I don't want to waste a ton of time here at the end of this video, but I do think so. This was October when I started working on the cards themselves. I started pulling, this was the week that I started the project. So September 29th to October 5th was the week when I started this project. And so it's been going on for quite a few months, and I am excited to say that it's finished. I'm going to just call it. I'm not going to outline the cards. I think that they stand out well enough, and I don't think that most of them need it. If I decide at some point that a few of them maybe need some more contrast, I can just outline those, but I'll do them individually. Otherwise, I'm calling it. End of project. Hooray. Celebrate with me, folks. Thanks for joining me in this video. I do still have some priorities to finish through the end of the year. I did manage to grab a pen here. I did manage to get the holiday gifts taken care of ish. That kind of didn't go quite the way I planned, but it worked out. And I got my Oracle deck done. So Amsterdam journal, Florida journal, and finish 2025 journal. I think this is my next priority right here. Finishing the 2025 journal is going to be my newest priority, since I am running up right on the end of the year and I want to do this while it's still fresh. The Amsterdam journal and the Florida journal I can work on sort of in the meantime. I do still have about a week before I go back to work. So hopefully I'll have some time to get some of these projects done. I'm feeling good about my progress so far. It's always good to finish a project, and this one's been going on for a long time. So I'm going to just celebrate this being done for a little while before I jump into the next thing. Have a great day, folks. Thanks for joining me in the studio. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video, comment, tell me what you think. Tell me if you have your own Oracle deck. I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day, folks. Thanks for being here.